Well, it's a very late summer evening, and this is the word for the week. A long time ago now, my friend Richard Swain, Louisiana cattleman retired missionary to the Balkans. Years ago we were drinking coffee at his favourite cafe in Mostar, and he introduced me to the expression all hat and no cattle. What does it mean? Well, it's a Southern American states expression. It means someone who talks big or dresses the part, cowboy hat, but has no real substance, no cattle to back it up. Very pleased to say my cattle are standing behind me here today. Lovely to see them out of a cool evening like this for a walk. That term, all hat, no cattle, is very similar to an empty suit. You know, that expression you might be more familiar with? Pejorative term for someone who looks the part, business-like, well-dressed, but has got very little going on between their ears, an empty appearance of capability. Now, those are pretty harsh criticisms, aren't they, of a person? But in our passage today, James goes way, way further than that, as we're going to see in a minute. James is writing to a bunch of mainly Jewish believers in Jesus who've been scattered across the known world, and he does that in a literary form they'd be familiar with. This is like wisdom literature in a letter, featuring practical Christianity and faith in public view. And within that format, James 2, 14-26 forms the climactic argument in this letter's first major section, from chapter 1, verse 19 to 2:26. It brings together the themes of hearing versus doing, chapter 1, verses 22 to 25, religion as enacted mercy, chapter 1, 26 to 27, and partiality against God's way, God's law. And then we get to our particular passage for today. And that passage hangs on a very sharp hook. James poses the question, what good is a faith that only speaks but never acts? And as for James's roadmap through this passage, well, the passage comes as a dramatic high opera tour de force in 3 movements. Chapter 2, verses 14 to 17, there's this hypothetical case he throws up, an initial idea that he's trying to get across: faith without works is dead. And then chapter 2, verses 18 to 20, there's an imagined person he's having a discussion with, puts a counter-argument, testing the inseparability of faith and works. And then verses 21 to 26, he gives 2 examples, 2 people, Abraham and Rahab, supporting a body-spirit analogy, drawing its strength from the idea that a body that does nothing that it ought to do is a dead body.